Okay, cool. So then this is 9. So notice all the column, this is a column, all the column, all these beads are touching the horizontal bar. This is considered 9. This is all counted. None of these columns are counted. So what's going to happen is after 9 is 10. So we have 10, 1, and 0. If we look, just like our place value, right? Just like our place values, we have our 1s and our 0s. So just how we write on a piece of paper, right? We do 1. Oh, I need my, here we go. There we go. We do 1, okay? So that's 1. Well, what's 1? Well, sorry. So if we have 1, that's 1. 2, that's 2. 3, that's 3. Does that make sense? So we count 1, 2, 3. 4, that's 4. And then after 4, we have 5. 5. 5. This is 5. This will always be 5, no matter what. Okay? So, let's see. I'm trying to figure this out. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, this is 5. Does that make sense? This is 5. So, what's going to happen is what's 6? Well, if we look at it, this is 5, and that's 6. Does that make sense? Because this has a value of 5, and then there's one bead. Because there's 5, and then there's 6. So together, they make 6. Okay? So then we have 7. Sorry, that's what 7 looks like. How do I know? 5, 6, 7. This is 7. So what's after 7? There's 8. So I'm going to keep writing. This is 8. Maybe what I should do is I should just yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that instead. Okay. What else? Okay, so that's 8. And then we have 9. Maybe I'll do that. 9. So this is 9. That's what 9 looks like on the abacus, right? Does that make sense? So what we do, hey, good morning. Good morning, Ethan. Ethan and Uriel and Kevin. So good morning. What we're doing is we're talking about the abacus. Anybody have any questions? Let me know. Okay, so I got my pupils. I got all my streams going. So that's 9. So then what's after 9, right? What's after 9 is 10. Notice how this is 10? Does that make sense? So what we just did is we just did 10. Hey, Caitlin. So after 10 is 11. Notice I have my 1s. It's interesting. Okay, I have my 1s, right? I have my 1s, my 10s, my thousands, my 10,000. I'm sorry, my 1s, my 10s, my hundreds, my thousands, and my 10,000. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to put in a little chart so I can talk about it. So if I did my 1s and then do that, yeah, I think I'll have to do that. So I have to make some more things. Okay, so we're going to count it again. So when we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and after 4, we have 5. We have 5. So notice the top bead has a value of 5. This is not 5, this is 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What we just did is we just did some counting on. Thank you for the follow. So what's going to happen is I have 5, and then there's a 6. So after 6, we have 7, 8, and then 9. Art of Ak. Word, that's funny. Hi, Suski. Okay, so this is 9. If you notice, this is 9. That's 9. So every column, every place value has a value of 9. Can go to the most, which would be the value of 9. So this is 9, that's 9, this is 9. Does that make sense? So if I zero it all out, right? This is all not counted. This is all 0. So what I just did is I reset my abacus. When I reset my abacus, this is 0. Now I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. After 5, we have 6, 7, 8, 9. After 9, we have 10. Notice the way I have it is 10, 1, and 0. This is like our place values, 0 and 1. So when we count by 20, we can count by tens. We can do 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50. Notice 50, right, and 5. They're the same except different place values. So when we look at the place values is what we're looking at. So this is 5, this is 50, this is 5. This is 50, this is 500. After 500, this is 5,000. After 5,000 is 50,000. Welcome, Crazy Dare. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oi! Oa! How's it going? Oi! That's funny. Let me know if you have any questions, but right now we're learning how to read the abacus. After we learn how to read the abacus, we could do adding, subtraction, multiplication, division. Yeah, we can do 4 things. And we can do it with decimals, but that's pretty easy. Oi! Do you have any questions? Because since you're the only one that's commenting, I feel like you're the only one in my room. So I'm not picking on you. I like conversations. And I want to make sure that I understand, I explain how to read the abacus. After we read the abacus, we're going to learn how to do some adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Are we ready? I don't know if you're still around, Okay, so I'm going to continue to count until somebody makes more of a comment than what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to not add. What we're going to do is we're going to count on the abacus. Hello, Sina. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is value of 4. Ready? Hey, Ashley, welcome. What are we doing? Okay, what we're doing is we're reading the abacus. After that, we can go into adding and subtracting because it's just you and me. Oi said something, but that's about it. So we know how to read it, right? I just want to just do a little review. So we have 4, and then this is 5. After 5, we have 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 9. And then we have 10. Hey, Bill, welcome back. Welcome back. So we have 10, and then 11, 12, 13, 14. And then after 14, we have 15. After 15, we have 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20. All right. So, you do? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to do some adding and subtracting. So the first thing, what are the last 2 rows? Hey, Sea Turtle, thank you. Can you show 7,000 with the blue little beads? Yes. So we have 7,000. That's what 7,000 would look like. Thank you, Oi. So yes, exactly. It's 1 bead on the top, right? 7,000. And then it's 1 bead on the bottom. So I'm sorry, 2 beads on the bottom. So if you look, this is 5, 6, 7. Exactly. What are the last 2 rows? This is what we call decimals, right? So just as we said here, this is our ones, and then we have our decimal. Our decimal sits between our ones and our tenths. So we have a decimal right here. We do tenths and tenths and hundreds. So when we have our decimal, right? If we had money, if this is $7,000, because I wish I had $7,000. If this is $7,000, I can do 25 cents. So that would be 25. So notice I have the 5 and I have 2, just as I make 7. So making a 7 is very similar to making 25. That's a very good question. Thank you. Hello, Anna. Let me know if you have any questions. And you too, Stena. If you have any questions, let me know. So what we're going to do is we understand how to break it apart. This is what we call decomposing, because we have 1, 5, and then 6, and then 7. Yes, Oi, you are absolutely right. Thank you, Bill, for the heart me. So, yes, I see your hearts. Thank you, Anna. Okay, so we know how to read the abacus. Are we going to continue to read the abacus? Should we do a maze? Oh, I didn't print it out. But we could do a maze. So I have this book that I just created. I'm actually quite happy with this book, but I'm going to make the other book. I got to print out the other book. And then I haven't figured out if I was going to consolidate or this. So can you show a basic problem? Yeah, I can show a basic problem. Do you want to do that? Do you want to do that first, or do you want to do some bead recognition? Beal, you're so funny. Hi, Crazy Bear. Thank you. I see a, can we do a maze? That's cool. Oh, yeah. This is the maze. So this is the little book that I made. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start here. When we start here, I have every label that says start here. So if I look at this number, what number is that? We'll do a basic problem in a little bit if that's okay. Okay, so what number is this? If I look at my tens, my ones and my tens, yeah. Oh, really? Are you okay? Okay, cool. What number is that? Thank you, Darbug. Thank you for sharing my live. Okay, 10. Thank you, Beal. This is 10. So notice, oh, sorry, I forgot. The reason what we're going to do is we're going to look at our answer. Whatever this answer is where our path is going to go. So this is 10. This is what 10 looks like. 1 and a 0. So that's what 10 looks like. So I'm going to color in the path and it takes me to the next box. So yes, Ashley and Oi. Yeah, art of awk. Yes, good. So after this, if I show you what this number is, there's a 1 here, and then there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. What number does that look? What number does that look like? Dar, what number is this? Do you know? 13. Yes, Josie. So we have 13. 1, 3. 1, 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color it in. I'm going to follow the path. When I follow the path, it takes me to the next one. Thank you, Sea Turtle. Yes, and Beal. And Ashley and Ock. Can I say art? Art or Ock? So what's my next one? My next one is this one and then this one. That's what it looks like. So I have these options. Don't look at the options. Look at the beads. The options are not for you to sit to your, the option is to look at here, right? To look, to read the abacus. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Josie and Oi. Oh my God, you guys are getting it. Okay, good. Right? This is an activity. I guess adults like it too. Mikey. I think they like it. Josie, we have a 5, 6, 7, 8. We have to remember there's a 5 at the top. So the 5, this is the top bead. The top bead always has a 5. So when we count, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you, Ashley, Beal, Art, and Sea Turtle. So after 8, I'm going to follow in this path over here. What's after that? So we have this number. If I mimic it on the abacus, that's what it looks like. So, Beal, you're not the only one that enjoys mazes. Everybody else enjoys mazes too. This is fantastic. 16, Sea Turtle. Yes, thank you. 16, Beal. Thank you. And Ashley. Ashley. So we have 16. 1 and a 5 and a 6. 1 here, 5, 6. When we count, we have to make sure the top bead is counted, right? So that's how we get 6. So this is how we get 16. So I love mazes. Yeah, right? I didn't think adults like mazes. I gotta make more. I gotta make more. So then the question is like, I have a different, I have a different thing. So I guess I'll be making a little more mazes. 6. How do I know? 5, 6. Thank you. Ash, oh, Ash some. Ha ha. Okay, yes, Art and Ashley. Yes, good. 6. So we do 6, and I'm going to color it. I'm trying to find fun ways to teach my son math. Yeah, you know, I have an abacus. Beal can vouch for it. He says that it's fun. Or Beal says that it's fun. So we have 5. No, not 5. This is 2, right? This is 2. How old is your son, Sea Turtle, if you don't mind me asking? So we have 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9. Yes, 29. He's 7. Oh, okay. So this would be really good. The first thing would be to understand how to read the abacus. When we understand how to read the abacus, then we can actually do adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So that's, yeah, Sea Turtle. Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, so the first thing I would do is I would have them start understanding how to read the abacus if you wanted to show them how to use the abacus. So this is how I would show them how to use the abacus. I'd give him a maze. And so he would have to go through 6, right? 5, 6, and then 5. Yes, Ashley, thank you. Right? So then we have, yep, thank you, Art. Thank you, Beal. So I have 65. That's what it is, 65. So then after that, what do? We have, so I guess I gotta print out the other book, the other pages. So this is not boring. I only did one because I didn't think it would be possible. All right, so 2, right? 20, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, that's 28, right? 28. Art, yes. Ashley, Art. Yes, thank you. So 28. So I'm going to do that. 28. And then we're going to do this one. If we look at that, we have 5, 6. 5, 6, 7. Nope. 1, 2, 3. Actually, when you read the abacus, do you start reading from left to right or right? It matters, and you're right. Just as how we say 63, 63, that's how we write it. We don't say 360, right? So exactly how we write is how we say it. Exactly how we write is how we read the abacus. Does that make sense? Oi, that's a very good question. 63. So my next one is this one. Does that make sense? Yeah, thank you so much for 63. Yep, got it. So, okay. So we have this one. That's all it is, just one. Yep, thank you. Thank you, Ashley. Ooh, art, good, right? Makes sense, sea turtle. Oi, did that make sense? So as we read it is how we write it and how we do it. So the last question, the last number is okay, good. 5. No, not 5. Why? 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 Oh, who says that? Why? Why? 5. It's 50. Yes, Ash. Yes, Art. 50 sea turtle. Yes. Make sense? So what we just did is we just read the abacus. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're ready for some adding. Okay, we're going to do some adding because that's what. Okay, so if you notice, we actually did some adding if you think about it. What it is if I had 5 and I had 2. If I add 2, notice I add the 2, right? That is 7. So what is that? That's decomposing. What we just did is we took our numbers and made it smaller. I didn't know you can make numbers smaller, but you can. You can make numbers really small. Because just as we got, my Estonian Russian abacus does not have a bar across the way. Oh, yeah. You know what that means is you have a 10 bead. So what's going to happen is if you want to mimic the abacus, if you want to mimic the soroban, what we can do is we have to modify. So one of the things that I was talking about, if you wanted to modify, because the one thing is the way your abacus is, your Russian abacus, Estonian abacus, I know what it is too. The one it is, it's like this: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? It's all in one bead like this, right? Just like that. So what you can do if you want to modify it to make it look like this, well, one, it goes across, right? That's not a problem. What I would do is I would tape five blocks together, if that's okay, musician. Oh, glue girl, glue girls. I would tape 5 and then I would replace it. 1, 2, 3. I would tape it, right? So I'm going to tape it. So this is taped and I'd leave it here, right? I'd leave these here, if that makes sense. If you want to do this, it's up to you. And then what I would do is instead of having it horizontal, you can make it vertical. I would move the whole thing vertical. And then after that, what I would do is I would get a string. I'd get a string and I'd put it right in the middle, like this. Then what you can do is you can follow along. You can follow what I have. If I can just make my string fit. So then afterwards, right, glue girl, afterwards, then you can use it. So you could do 5, right, and then move it up. And then you could do 6, oh, sorry, 5 and 6. Yeah, cool. So if you don't want to buy, right? I don't if you have an abacus, it works the same. It works exactly the same. It just you got to modify just like Cars. I don't know if you guys watched Cars 2, Cars Tune when Mater goes to Tokyo, like Tokyo Drift. Yeah, you're welcome. Glue. I think it's Glue or Girls. Musician? I don't know what to call you. It's such a long name. So just like in Cars in Tokyo Drift, right? I think it's Tokyo Drift, and he had to go modification. So we do 5, right? 5 and then 6, and then this is 7, right? I wouldn't, and then I just ignore the bottom bead. I just ignore the bottom bead, but I would tape the top beads so then you can do exactly the same as this. See how it's exactly the same? But now it's kind of cool because you can see the 5. So 5, this is 5, and then I do 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And then for you, I would you can just choose whatever column you want to be your ones. Whoa. Yeah, right, Ashley? I mean, there's a lot of thinking. I'm a little bit smart, but I'm a little bit more creative than anything. But yeah, if you have a 10 bead abacus, you can modify. Modification. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of adding. We're going to do some adding because I want to show you how to add. That abacus is the great thing. Abacus is a great thing. Not only does it count, oh, you know what? Honestly, to tell you the truth, to tell you the honest truth, abacus just tracks your, it just tracks your beads. That's all it is. You do the calculations in your head. Somebody said that. I was like, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. We do the calculations in our head. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, we're going to do some adding and subtracting. And I'm what am I doing? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some adding and subtracting. The first thing we did is the beginning of the book, right? The beginning of the book, what we did is we understood how to read the abacus. We understood how to read the abacus and we matched the abacus with the number. That's what we did. So that's what the thing is. This is a pixel art. And this was to help the kids to like, get them to understand stuff. And I have a whole bunch of like worksheets to try to make it more interactive. So you saw the one thing, I'm going to buy an abacus and use it at the gym. Brian. Oh, yeah, you know what? You can. Every time you do a rep, you can count. I did one. And then every time you do another rep, you could say, I did two. You could use it as a counter. But you have to be careful because it's a little bit finicky. If you move it, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But be careful because it's very easy to move. So you've got to put it somewhere where it doesn't move. So make sure because if it doesn't get locked down, you're gonna mess up your reps. I'm gonna buy two. It can go anywhere. So yeah, you can use it to track your reps. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you do, I don't know, if you do 5,000 or whatever, you would just choose the one. Yeah, an abacus. That's funny, Brian. Okay, so what we did here is I wanted the kids to choose whatever color, and then this was the bead recognition. So that's what we just did. We did bead recognition. That was what the whole maze was about. And then in this book, we started talking about, counting forwards and counting backwards. But I don't think this would be for your 7-year-old. What I would probably do is I'd go straight into adding, subtracting after they know how to read the abacus. So if you notice, what we do on the abacus is we focus on the add-in. Teacher, hey, welcome back. Welcome back, Kitty. I try to be here earlier so we can start earlier. But I do have to leave in about 45 because I have a student coming. I have to go get a student. Don't mess with the hanger. Huh? Okay. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the add-in. We're not going to focus on the result. So what we do is this is about life. This is about abacus life. I joined another live with the math learner. She was so was she really? That's so sad. Ah, that's too bad. Um, oh, so abacus is like life. Why? Because it's all about the journey. There was no joke. It's too bad she doesn't have jokes. I have jokes. Let me show you. Do you want the red pill or the blue pill? I was watching The Matrix yesterday and I'm like, yes, welcome to the real world. I find it my okay, anyways. So what we're gonna do is right? It's nice and you have jokes. um, we're going to focus on the add-in. Oh my God. I love it. According to my abacus, your mean teacher has no kindness. It's been a minute. Hey, B, welcome. You guys are so funny. You guys are gonna make me cry because I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. It just fills my heart. You guys are so awesome. Okay, so, okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on the add-in. Focus on the add-in. Why? Because we're gonna focus on what life is, right? We want to marry the process, divorce the results. What we're going to do is we're gonna focus on the add-in. We're gonna focus on the add-in. We're gonna focus on the add-in and not the answer, right? We're not gonna say, oh, we gotta make an 8. No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a 1, right? It takes two to make something. We can't look at something and not know what we're going to get. Oh, that's even better. I can't say that, but you know what I mean, right? It takes more than just the focus. It takes more than just the destination. It takes more than just the goal. We need to know how to get there. So here is the question. This is super easy. This is not to question your intelligence. The only reason why I do this is to show you how simple it is. Because after we know the foundation, then we can go into scale. We can scale it. And I'll tell you the big secret. I'll tell you my big secret and I'll tell you the truth if you're ready for the red pill. Okay, so we have 7. So I have 7, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to add the 1. So notice on this page, right, we're focusing how to move the 1. When we move the 1, we're just moving the bead. The question is always, do I have enough beads? Do I have enough beads to add, right? Yes, I have enough beads to add. So if my final answer is 8, right? So when we talk about it, when we look, here is 2. So I'm going to clear my abacus and I have 2. I have 2 and then I have 1. When I add, I'm only doing one bead. That's all that means. So when we do it again, so I have 3. My answer is 3. I do another one. I do one, I have one, and then I'm going to add another bead. I have one more bead, and that is two. Does that make sense? Right? So that's easy, not a problem. But we're going to go through the steps because after we go through the steps, we want to know, right? We want to know what happens when we don't have enough. But the first thing we need to do is understand the fundamentals. So here in this book, the one I try to do is I try to have in like little activities and stuff, right? So again, what we're going to do, we have five. I've talked about this before, but that's okay. We have five. We add the five. When we add the five, we have two. All we're going to do is add two. Thank you. Thank you, Ash. Yes. Hey, Sassy and Southern Boutique. So we have two. One, two. When we add it together, that's two. Not a problem. That makes sense, right? We're just adding the two beads, just like that. So then we have six. What is six? Six. This is six. So what we're going to do is we're going to add six. We have six. Five, six. That's what I know. That's how I know it. That's all I knew. So when we add six, we have two. One, two. These are the two beads I'm going to be adding. That's all we're going to do. So my final answer is 8. Cool? Makes sense? So we're going to keep going. We have, after 2, we have 3. Again, I mean, we could do either bead-like, right? We could do the beads, or I showed out, I show what the numbers are because I wanted the kids to know that abacus is just math. What abacus is just math. It's just, we can see it. So when we add, right, we have 1, and then I have my 3. Where are we? We're adding our 3. The only thing we're doing is we're understanding how to make a 3, how to add a 3, not make a 3, add a 3. Yep, add a 3. So this is 4. My final answer is 4. Again, I'm going to add another 3. I'm sorry, right. And I have 5. I have 5, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 3. Right? Does that make sense? So that's what this is. And then after that is 4. 4 doesn't have a lot of questions. 4 doesn't have a lot of questions. Why? Because it's a lot of numbers. No, it's a lot of beads. The only one I can do is either 0, right? 0 and then plus 4. Or I do 5 and then 9. I'm sorry, 4, 5 and then 4, which makes 9. Okay. So this one's a color by number. And then after we add, guess what we do? We learn how to subtract. Why? Because we need to be balanced. We need to have a like a yin and yang. Your low key abacus may yeah. Brian, that's not gonna work with your gym regiment. So minus the 1. Well, what does that mean? Well, when we add, notice when we add, we're moving to the bar. We move to the horizontal bar, right? What we happen is we're going to subtract. When we subtract, we minus, we take away from the bar. That's all that means. When we add, we go to the bar. When we subtract, when we add, we want to go up to the beam. Beam me up, beam me up. Haha, Beal, I'm trying to figure that out. You're right, Beal. You want to go to the beam. No, I want to be beamed up. Beam me up. So you want to add it. But if I want to subtract, I don't know how to say. Yeah. Anyways, when I want to subtract, I want to minus. So since my 2 abacus are on their way, I got to use You can use the Skittles, but make sure they don't end up in your mouth. 1, 2, Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to do 2, and we take away 1. We minus the 1, and our answer is 1. Sorry to be tedious, but my abacus is handmade and has 8 columns. Oh, that's even better. Wait, 8 columns. Then you need one more. Wait a minute. 8? No, 8 columns is fine. 8 columns is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? One row has 4 beads. That's what I have, 4 beads. Is that what we're talking about? Why do you start at the 5th column instead of the 1st? The reason why, Ice, is because my indicator, this is my indicator, and my indicator is where I locate my ones. So I have to look, I'm sorry, I'm being perplexed about this Estonian. Is it really an Estonian abacus? Because that doesn't make sense. Estonian abacus. No, it should be 5. It's a 10 bead. But it's handmade. But it should have 10 beads on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So does it look like this? Let me see if I can do a little bit of road trip. Does it? I mean, it's really cool that it's handmade. Does it look like this? Because oh my gosh. It's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There still should be 10. Is that not correct? So now I'm confused. I wanna make sure. So yeah, oh sorry, the indicator. So yeah, ice eagles. Does that make sense? What we're gonna do is this is the indicator. This is my ones indicator. So with my ones indicator, this is where I say this is ones. Just as that's it. There should be 10 then. There's 10 beats. So if you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's fine. The beads are the ones that you want to grab together, right? So this one has 3 beads. You would get 2 more beads. So it'd be 1 brown bead and 1 black bead. Tape it together, and then from there you can sorry, now I'm just kind of do that. So then from there you can tape it. Yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine. You could do it. You could still do it. So you would still, where's my, you would still tape the 5 beads together. It's fine that it's 8 columns. Yeah, it's fine that it's 8 columns. This is only 7 columns, and then this one is 13 columns. The columns have nothing to do with it. It's all about the beads, right? So if I have my beads, so I would still do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd still do this. I'd still tape it. And then that's why I mentioned to after you tape it, then you flip it, right? That's what I would do. And then there's a line. You would have to put in a separate line, like a string. You'd have to put a string. So that would be your horizontal bar. Because you just need indicators, right? You need Bill mentioned it was a beam, right? This beam, was it beam me up? It goes up to the beam. I'm still trying to figure that one out. So yeah, no, you can still tape it. Yeah, you can still tape it five blocks, and then keep the other blocks free. Okay, so yeah, no, it still works. It still works. It's a 10 bead. That's fine. And then all you got to do is just flip it, or flip it this way. Yep. It doesn't matter about the columns. The columns is just the amount of place values. So yours is pretty good. I like to keep 3 free. Like you keep 5 free. You keep 5 free. You tight you so if it's like this, right? Let me try to mimic this. So now I'm just playing with blocks. What does Lynette do with blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I'm gonna do is pretend this is your thing. So we do one like that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So this is the two columns, right? These are the rows, and they're like this, right? Does that make sense? And then I do another set. This would be really good for my Legos. Okay, so then we do this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be like this, right? And then this be separated. That's what it'd be. But I would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would tape. I would tape it. I would tape it because I don't want to glue. I don't like gluing. But yeah, that's it. I would keep no. I would keep 5 free. 1, 2, 3. Do all of the columns. 2 sets of 10 reps. Got it. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what it would look like. That's what it would look like. Does that make sense? So it would be, you would do it for all of the columns, and then you would have to flip it, right? Then you have to flip everything. And then I'd have a string that goes like this. Yeah. Does that make sense? Musician? Glue girls. Glue girls. There it is. Would that make sense? So then I would do a string. I don't, nothing permanent, because it's a really beautiful abacus. A bit. Okay. Well, good luck. But yeah, I wouldn't that's why I would use tape, because it's a really beautiful abacus. I wouldn't want to mess it up. And then if you, and then you flip it, right? It would look like this, right? Yeah. I wouldn't want to mess it up. I'd probably just use like some tape, or you can use string to string it together. Yeah. Five up together. Yes, five up together, and then five beads at the bottom. And then you ignore the bottom bead, because it's redundant. You don't need it. So it'd be like a kind of like a Chinese abacus, right? A Chinese abacus is a little redundant. So if you have a Chinese abacus, you would just use the middle ones like this. You just use the middle one like that. Because it's exactly the same. Because what you're doing is you're just using it as the beads. You're doing the calculations in your head, so it actually doesn't matter. These cubes would always look so good. These cubes would always look so good. uh, but the one row, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Because my Japanese one only has four beads at the bottom. That's fine. That's what's good. Because you can ignore the bottom bead. So like in the Chinese abacus, we would ignore the bottom bead. We won't need to worry about the top or the bottom. We just focus on the middle part. Does that make sense? So in the Chinese one, this would be kind of similar, right? You just ignore the bottom bead. Keep the bottom bead. Yeah. So the purpose is you only have four. Exactly. So you would purposely make them all have only four. Oh, I guess so. I guess so. You could do this one, but then to me, like I see that this is six, right? You could tape six together and have four beads at the bottom. You could do that. But I think if you want to keep the nature of what the beads are, this is five. There's a the Chinese one was before the abacus one. I'm sorry, the Chinese one was before the Japanese one. The Japanese made it more efficient because that's what they do. They make everything more efficient. So, here you could stick the six together, but I feel like logically that doesn't make sense to me. So that's what I would do, is I would keep it as a five, because that's what we're doing. We're representing five, and then I would just use this last one as is that it hangs. It just kind of hangs out. Yeah. So the reason why there's a Chinese one was it's before the Japanese one. That's all it is. It works exactly the same. So we count one, two, three, four, five. After five, we do a trade. After five, we trade. So we trade the top beat. The top beat always has a value of five, right? So we do it again. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After 10, welcome, rock. So after we have five, right? This is 10, right? What we're going to do is we're going to trade this in. This is 10, and we do this. But this is logically doesn't make any sense. Why? Because now this breaks my brain, because we're not using this as a place value anymore. What we're using this as a just a holder. So we have to trade again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to trade it for 10, because 5 plus 5, 5 plus 5 equals to 10. So that's what we do, is we trade it in. Yes, they do. Convert. Yeah, it is a little redundant. It is a little redundant. So what happens is, but this was before the Japanese one. The Japanese one's been around probably for, I don't know, 50, 60, I don't know, maybe 70 years. And they just made it more efficient. There's like competitions out of this, which is really crazy. It's really cool. There's Japanese competition for this, and there's an actual redundancy. Yeah, um, yes, you're right. Redundant is not efficient. That's correct. And so that's the other one. Maybe in your next book offering, old Russian abacus applications. The Russian application one is just really counting. So I mean, there's no formulas involved for the Russian one, whereas the abacus, the Chinese one, and the Japanese one, there's formulas. So we're actually going to get into the formulas because what happens when we don't have enough beads? If the Russian one you want to add four, you just add four. But the one thing about the Russian one is that you have to count the amount of beads. It's like the number line. So density. Yeah, not a problem. Like I was thinking about it too. Like how can I make it more versatile? The Russian one just it's more what do you call it? It's very one to one, but there's no place value, which is interesting. So because I know the Russian one goes horizontal, but we don't write like this. We write like this. So it wasn't meant to be horizontal or vertical. I don't know, like you know what I mean. So yeah, yeah, it's a very interesting it's a very beautiful abacus. I do like it. I have mine. There's the Chinese one, and then I have the one that I started with, and this is my Japanese one. This one is 23 columns, and this one is made out of bamboo. Hey, your Russian one, what do you know what wood it's made out of? That's very interesting. And it's very meticulous. Like it takes a lot of time to do the rounding of the beads and making sure that there's a little hole in it and how it moves and stuff, right? So the ladies are so fast in the Russian market. The market really, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they do it that way. I don't know. I don't know how they do adding, subtraction, and multiplication on their abacus. That's something that's not my strong point. My strong point's the Japanese abacus. So I teach the Japanese abacus. I don't know the Russian abacus. But yeah. But thank you for letting me know. Yeah. Maybe birch or pine. Oh, interesting. Yeah, mine is made out of bamboo because it's Asian. If the Chinese one can have an abacus, I'm creating my Brian abacus made out of Skittles. Patent pending. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Would I buy it? I would eat it first. Oh, it would be like the little, what do you call it? You can make it like those little candy necklaces. Do you remember those candy necklaces? And then you can make it like little one of those. That'd be funny. That would be so funny. Okay. So, right? Edible abacus. There you go. Edible abacus. It'd be for like Halloween or something. And then it'd be like, tell me a number before, no, tell me what this number is, and then you can have the abacus. Okay. So the question is what happens when there's not enough beads, right? That's where this comes into play. Why? Because we did the easy one. Never mind, my abacus is unsafe. um, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add, right? When we have this number 3 and we add 6, the question, I think about the children. Okay. We're gonna add 6. Notice with my 6 I have enough beads to add the 6. So I have 5 and I have 6 and I bring it together, that's 6. That's not a problem. The problem lies is when we start talking about when I want to have 3 and I plus the 4. Okay, now what we're doing is we're understanding there's a concept how to make a 5. And what we do is we do 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. We're learning how to do this. We're teaching the children all this craziness. No, it's not that crazy, actually. It's actually not that crazy. Why? Because it's a concept that we're teaching. But the interesting thing is that's all we do. We only tell them 4 plus 5 is equal to 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. That's all we're doing. But what does that mean? Well, let me show you because I have these printouts. So what we're going to do is we're going to isolate the variable. I have my little handy dandy. What are we doing? What we're doing is we're doing the question 3 plus 4. This is the question we're doing. So if we notice, we have 3 on the abacus. Now we want to add 4. Notice I don't have enough beats to add the 4. Well, what are we going to do? Well, we know the concept. We know this concept. We know how to do this. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. We know this. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Can we do it? Yes, we can. We can do it. What does that mean? We have 4 plus 1 equals to 5. What we're going to do is we're going to isolate the variable. We have to isolate the variable because this is the variable we need to isolate. When we isolate, hey, Lizette, welcome back. So what we're going to do is we're going to isolate the variable. When we isolate it, isolate the variable. Sometimes I feel like I'm just got to exercise my mouth a little bit. To make 4 by itself, I want to do 4 is equal to 5. This is not balanced. What do? We have to subtract the 1. So we're going to subtract the 1. So this is the formula we need. This is what Lizette mentioned, right? We need this formula. Why? Because now, not negative numbers. No, it's not negative. It's subtraction. So if you look, right, we want to add the 5. We're going to add the 5, and we're going to take away the 1. It's not a negative number. It's to take it away. So what is our answer? What did we just do? The answer is 7. What we just did is we didn't memorize our doubles. What we memorized is a formula. The formula itself is very versatile. Does that make sense? So what we're doing is we need to memorize the formula. Let's do another question. If we do another question, does that make sense? Are we okay? Are we tracking like a horizontal bar? So what we're going to do is we'll do 2, right? We do 2. So the question is 2. Well, sorry, 2. I have 2 on the abacus. I have 2 on the abacus. I don't have enough beads. So what do? Guess what? We're going to go back to our formula. Plus the 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus the 1. That's the formula. That's the formula that we need to go. So because we know that we need to add the 4. When we add the 4, right, we need to modify this. We're modifying our equation. So what's going to happen is I'm going to plus the 5 and I take away the 1. So my answer is 6. Does that make sense? Are we tracking like a horizontal bar? Anybody have any questions? Does that make sense? Are we okay? So let's do another one. Are we going to do another one? Let's do another one. So I have 4. Here, I have 4. And I have 4. So I'm going to put 4 on the abacus. I put 4 on my abacus. Notice, right? Brian, welcome to the reality. Call me an HB because I understand. Right? A horizontal bar, right? So what's going to do is we're going to have 4. We don't have enough beads to add the 4. We are not going to memorize the doubles. What we're going to memorize is a formula. The formula is to utilize the beads. We want to make sure our numbers are not freeloaders. We don't have any freeloading numbers. We don't like freeloadings. We don't like freeloaders. Give me the red pill, right? I'm telling you. So here, because we don't, either the red pill or the red skittle. So notice we don't memorize doubles. What we memorize is the formula. Now we have it more scalable. We can have it scaled. So plus the 5, take away the 1. This is not negative, right? What we're doing is we're subtracting. Just as we minus the 1. We had 4 minus 1. That's not a negative. That's just subtracting. So if you make it down to manageable chunks, what we just did is now we have 8. Notice I have my 8. I have 4, and then there's a number pattern. Excuse me, you'll see that there's a number pattern. Right? So we have a number pattern. We plus the 5 and take away the 1. I'm all about jokes. If it doesn't make sense, then it's not good. And I can't use the R word. So we notice that there's a number pattern. But look at it. If you really look at it with your eye. If you're a cyclops, you look at it with your eye. But if we're 2, then we look at it with our eyes, right? So we have look at it. We have 2 beads moving up and down. We know how to add 4. If we know how to add the 4, now we know how to subtract the 4. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So what's going to happen? We learn that you can't use the, oh yeah, right? So what is the minus 4? Well, it's the same concept, but now this is where we kind of have to go negative, right? We do -4, -1 equals to -5. Why? Because we need to minus the 4. To minus the 4, we need to move this over to the other side. We rewrite the formula. -4 equals to -5. This is not balanced. We need to plus the 1. So that's what I did. If I want to have 8 and I'm going to -4, I minus the 5 plus the 1. If I know how to add the 4, I know how to subtract the 4. So what we just did is we learned and how to compound our knowledge. Compounding our knowledge. Darbug. Are you still? Am I in the background, Darbug? Because you're not commenting and I know who you are. So we add, right? We added the 4. We take away the 4. Does that make sense? So what we just did is we compounded our concept. We know how to add the 4. We know how to take away the 4. So in school, I know it's a little complicated, but in abacus, it's the same. It's just in reverse, right? We add the 4, we minus the 4. We can do another one. We can do, what's the next one? If you look, how to make another 5. These are all the numbers you can make a 5. These are all the pairs. Does that make sense? So we can do the 3. 3 plus 2. It's the same concept. So after we learn how to add, right? After we learn how to add, we could do multiplication, division. But the first thing we need to do is understand how to add before we have to add. So what we're going to do is we're going to do number 3, right? I'm about to use my abacus at the grocery store and confuse the cashier. Yeah. Yeah. Or you can go to self-checkout. But if you want to be bougie. All right. So 3. How do we do 3? Same thing. Well, you know what? Let me move to another page. Because remember, we always focus on the add-in. This is what that means. We focus on the add-in. We focus on what we're trying to add. We're not focusing on the result. We focus on the add-in. So when we have our question, 4 plus 3. 4 on the abacus. So I have 4 on the abacus, and now I want to plus the 3. So when I plus the 3, what do? I don't have enough beads. We have our formula. No, this is a number sentence. We don't have a formula yet, right? What is our number sentence? Our number sentence is 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Now what do? Well, we're going to focus on our 3. We need to move our 2 to the other side. To make the 3 by itself, we need to subtract 2 from every side, right? From all sides. So we do 3 is equal to 5. Notice this is not enough, right? This is not balanced. So we have to minus the 2. Kitty, are you still around? Maybe she left. Does this make sense? So what we do is now we got to do 4. So we have 4. And then what do? Plus the 5 minus the 2. So my final answer is 7. So what we did is we did the calculation, but we can see what we're trying to do. I want to plus the 3. Notice I plus the 5 minus the 2. This is the pattern. If you notice, plus the 5 minus the 2. And then now, because we know how to plus, we can subtract. Thank you for your time to actually teaching us. They don't want us to know this. Yeah, welcome to the real world. Okay, so no, you're welcome, Lou. My pleasure. But this is the thing, right? Because we're using the abacus. When we use the abacus, we could see what we're doing. We want to add the 4, we need to add the 3. We have the 4, we need to add the 3. To add the 3, that's all we're doing. We're taking the 5 and we add the 5, we bring it to the beam. We bring it to the horizontal bar. We bring it to the horizontal bar, the reckoning bar, right? We bring it to the reckoning bar. And then we take away. We want to minus the 2. When we minus the 2, we take it away from the horizontal bar. Does that make sense? Are we okay? So what we just did is now, if you know how to add, we know how to subtract, right? Minus 3 equals minus 5 plus the 2. If we know how to add, we know how to subtract. Notice if I have 7 and I want to take away 3, minus the 5 plus the 2. See how there's a number pattern? Yeah. We all right? The government knows this is faster way of calculating this. Thank you. That is hilarious. But we're in America. And funny, China, right? If you can add, you can subtract. That's straight bars. That's straight bars. I don't get that one. If you I don't get that one. If you add, you can subtract. I don't know that one. It's not like you're having kids. If I added you in the world, I'm going to subtract you from the world. It's not the same. I'm Just saying, it's not the same. But that's why you have three boys. If one doesn't work, you have two others to worry about. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, so you subtract. If you can add it, you can subtract it, right? So it's the same thing, right? You can add, you can subtract. Okay, so we've done the adding of the five. We're done with the adding of the five, right? Because it's the same. So it's the same thing with the two. Same thing with the 2. Minus the 2 equals to minus the 5 plus the 3, right? We have, these are our pairs. Who taught you this? When did you learn this? Or is this how you taught as a kid all along? No, I never learned this as a kid. I have to live vicariously through my children. I taught my kids. My kids know about it. But what happened was is my dad went on a business trip and a lady was like, "You gotta bring abacus to America and teach everybody." So he did what all Chinese men do, and he said, "You're gonna learn how to read the abacus. You're gonna learn how to teach the abacus." I'm like, "Why? Why am I gonna learn the abacus? Why don't you learn the abacus?" But that I didn't say that because I'm, a very good Chinese daughter. So, so me and my brother was forced to learn the abacus, and then we opened up a side business. We opened up a side business, and the side business is a abacus learning center. We've been doing this for about 20 years now, and now I'm just starting to bring it out into the online world. And so that's my choice. That's my goal. My goal in my journey is to bring it to online. I still have, my brother actually still has the learning center that's out in Monterey Park. However, and that's what I'm going to do in about 15 minutes. I actually have to come out. I have to end the live because I have a student that I have in person, and then I do have other students that's on Zoom. But I am trying to do this on. I'm trying to do this as a business, and that's great though. It's different. He did great by it's exotic, it means unusual and different. Yeah, instead of playing with toys, you learn to use the abacus. That's commitment to knowledge. Your soul is bright. Please know this. I'm 22 and for life to make sense of it all around. Yeah. And so interesting thing, because of the whole TikTok thing, which is I wish I got in earlier, but whatever. I'm here now. But it's interesting because of people like everybody that's on my live right now, I've been making more abacus driven worksheets. So this is for, I'm sorry, abacus driven worksheets for adults. And that was the one thing that I was trying to do. And so I'm starting to make more abacus worksheets for adults because there's a lot more people like Beal. Beal is very interested. And I was like, really? Okay. So I'm starting to make more abacus driven activities. So this is a maze and we were just doing it. Your dedication is great. Your dad would be proud. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, and it's just one of those things. So I have abacus worksheets for adults now. And I'm starting to expand a little bit on that because I realize that when you learn it, you will teach your kids. You know what I mean? So as you teach your kids, we're going to make more kids understand math. And that's the point of abacus. So thank you. I appreciate your comments and compliments. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So before I leave, there's one more thing that we need to do. What is it? What is it? It's learning the 10, and that will be the end of it. Why? Because that's all the time I have. So remember about learning the 10. What do we do about the 10? Well, remember, just like we did the 5, right? Just like we did the 5, we can understand how to do a 10. How to make a 10. Remember you. Remember you? You remember me? Do you? Okay, good. I'm happy that I'm memorable. I was thinking, because I think about like what happens if when we leave this world, what's going to happen to all my stuff. That's why I'm trying to make as many books as possible. So all of these books that I've created, right? They have explanations, but it's not difficult to read. So here is an explanation. Here's another explanation. Oh, here. This is a better one. So to do a 10, to make a 10, what we're going to do is, if you look, I have little pictures because I like pictures. Call me a simpleton, but I like pictures. So here, what we're going to do is, this one was ideally, good morning, Melinda. I'm only going to be here for another 10 minutes, just so you know. because I got class at 9. I gotta drive. So what's gonna happen is this is a 10 formula, right? We know this is a 10 pair. When we have a 10 to make a set to make a 10, this specific question, right? This specific formula. Oh yes, I will. Oh, okay, good. I wish my kids would remember me, but they think I'm a little corny. So we have 7 plus 3. 7 plus 3 is equal to 10, right? 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. What's going to happen? Knowledge is power, and that's the power you never be taken away from you. Unless I stop using it and become like. But that's the thing. That was the idea. My idea was to create abacus worksheets for senior citizens so they can keep their mind active and to try to thwart off of Alzheimer's. So just like we do Sudoku and we do was it crossword puzzles and we do what crossword puzzles and word searches, I was going to bring in abacus as part of that. So that's what I was going to do. I'm old and riddled with dementia. The only thing that we'll remember will be yeah, right. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. But you know what? If that's what I wonder. It it's one of those things. They talk about how dementia is a brain disease, right? But it's because we don't practice our brain. So I'm thinking that if we keep abacus in our brain, maybe you won't get dementia, Beal. Maybe you won't because you've been doing abacus because it relaxes you. So we're back to here. 7 plus 3. 7 plus 3. Why are we learning this? The reason why is because when we don't have enough beads, so if I have 4 and I want to add the 7, what's going to happen? We have to use this formula. This is not a formula. This is a number sentence. This formula, how do we make it in a formula? Guess what? When we make it into a formula, it's exactly what we do. We've seen this before. We've seen it before. What do we do? Right? This is very familiar as this. But now we see a pattern. Because we see a pattern, 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. How are you so young? How are you still so young? I learned the abacus. What? No, I'm not young. I wish I was young. So 7 plus 3. 7 plus 3. Again, if I want to add the 7, because my question is what? My question is 4 plus 7. I don't have enough beads to add the 7. I don't have enough beads to add the 7. That's where I'm at. So we need to guess. This is very familiar, isn't it? Right? We have to 7 is equal to plus the 10. Adding a 10 is too much, so we need to minus the 3. Well, how does that work on the abacus? I don't get it. What does that mean is we're going to utilize our little flippy charty thingy. Let me line it up for you. Let me line it up. So what we're doing is we're doing 7 plus 4. 4 plus 7. We're going to add 7. Nope, that's not the right one. This one. This one. There we go. So if you notice, my formula is plus the 10 minus the 3. Plus the 10 minus the 3. I'm going to change it vertical. Why? So I can line it up with my columns. When I line it up with my columns, notice I want to say plus the 10. The 10 just means I'm going to the next column over. Does that make sense? That's all I'm doing. I'm going from the next column over. When I add 10, I'm only going to the next column over. I'm only going to add the 1. That's all that means. I add 1 on the next column. That's what that means. So I add the 1, and here I have to take away the 3. When I take away the 3, why? Because that's how I make a 7, right? Or make a 10. I use a 7 with a 3, but adding a 10 is too much, so I have to take away the 3. So then my final answer is 11. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yep. Right? Yeah, Beal. Right, Brian? Okay, good. I know Beal. Beal knows. Beal knows. Yes, Melinda. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Brian. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's do another question. We can do another question. We can do 3. 3 plus 7. Again, right? We know how to add the 7. So it's 3 plus 7. Plus 7 is plus the 10 minus the 7. Now see how we did it, right? We plus, this is how we add this is how we add 7. Notice if I want to add the 7 and take away the 7. I want to take away the 7, which is just this. I want to add the 7. I know I'm going to use this 10. So that's how it is. So now, because we know how to add the 7, we can take away the 7. Minus the 7 is equal to minus the 10 plus the 3. I should have used a different number, but that's fine. Oh, this way. 7. So if I did, no, not that one. 16. So I do 16. 16 minus 7. So I do 16 minus 7. Minus 7. How do I minus the 7? Well, remember, it's going to be minus the 10 plus the 3. So all I got to do is have a little reminder. There it is. Minus the 10 plus the 3. So I minus the 10 and I add the 3. My final answer is 9. Thank you, Chris, for the heart. Hey, welcome back, Chris. So that, I mean, okay, so the final, okay, before I leave, that's the final, that's it. So what is my secret? I'm telling you right now. Everything that we just talked about, can I wait to start from square one? Okay. It'll be really quick. I'm confused. Okay, hold on, Lydia. So just as I said before, my final thing, my final secret is if you know how to add a 5, I'm sorry, if you know how to add a 5, right? You know how to add a 5. You know how to subtract a 5. You know how to add a 10. You know how to subtract a 10. These 4 things that you know how to do, you can now add and subtract everything under the sun. And now it's scalable. This is all the fundamentals that you need to know. It's just how does it work and where does it go? Hi, Chunky. Does that make sense? So that's the secret. If you know how to utilize this ins and outs, then you will know how to add and subtract as a scale. So Lydia, what we're going to do is we're going to read the abacus. Hey, hearts! I'm about to leave in about 2 minutes or so because I got to get ready for class. So, Lydia, if you're still around, we're going to count on the abacus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime that the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is counted. So these beads are 4. This is counted. So we have 4 and then the 5. The top bead will always be 5 no matter what. So this is 5. None of the beads on the other columns are touching. So we have 5 and then we have 6. Hi, hearts. 5, 6, and then 7. After 7, we have 8, 9, and then 10. After 10, we have 11. So how do I know? Well, when I look at it, it's just like how we write. We have our place values. Our ones, our tens, our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000. Lydia, are you still around? Because if not, then I'm going to go. Doesn't sound like, yeah, I need to make sure that you're still around because I need to get ready for school. Okay, good, you're still here. So this is 10. So if you look, just as we write, we have 10. This is 1 and a 0. So this is 1 and a 0. Notice the difference? Now, the reason why I'm here is because I have this dot indicator. This dot indicator tells me this is the ones place. This is the only reason why I'm here, because I have my indicator. This is my label. My label tells me that this is the ones. So after the ones is my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, and my 10,000. So after we look and we understand how to read the abacus, then that's what I did before. That's what I did earlier is how to add. But then what we still need to do is understand how to read the abacus. So if I did this, this is 9. This 9, oh, I gotta go. Woo. Whoa, okay. That was kind of scary. That was really loud. Okay, but I do need to go. That's my alarm. I always have alarm for everything. So, Lydia, this is 9 and 9. So we have 909. No, thank you, Brian. Yes, you have a great day. Enjoy the gym with the abacus. Let me know how that works for you. Bye, Cinderella. You don't want to be late. No, I don't want to be late. I have a student and I want to make sure that he is 5. So what we're doing is we're actually be doing more adding and subtracting of the tens. And so we're going to continue on doing that. And then I got to create my other book, which is the minus tens. But that's what it is. Have a great day. See you next time. Yeah, see you in my next live. Yep, you know I'm always here. So Lydia, let me know. Follow me. I'm always live. We're always talking about the abacus. We have multiple, many ways of how to add and subtract. We do adding, subtraction, multiplication, and division on the abacus. And let me know. But yeah, follow me and we can do it. We can do it. And then I have worksheets. If you want worksheets and workbooks and abacus and stuff, you can the links in the bio. Links in the bio. Have a great day, everyone. Yeah, have a great day, Brian. Thanks for your good luck on the abacus skittle thingy. Not safe for kids. Okay, have a good day. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next live. Bye. Cinderella, you guys just join. I just started. Yeah, that's right, Ashley. It's so fun. You guys are so funny. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go. Bye. So I gotta end my stream.